So this team will be, as it has in the past a couple of times, we've talked about it. It's a tough loss, 24-15 in Atlanta. And so now it's how this team answers and how it faces adversity with still 6 games to go and everything to play for.
Yeah, look, it was very disappointing not to win in Atlanta. Particularly disappointing when you get into the red zone 5 times. You're also on their side of the 40-yard line and an additional time, and to only come away with 5 field goals is disappointing. And there's a lot of good things that are happening. Mike, you know how I am. I'm going to look at the things that are positive and understand how we can keep those going, and then look at the things that we're not doing well and try to figure out how can we improve in those areas. And there's a lot of things that we're doing well, but finishing off drives and scoring is not one of them.
We've talked about the red zone situation before, but the difference clearly this week, turnovers in the red zone. Now, you got a turnover from them in the red zone, but I can't imagine that there's much from a momentum standpoint tougher than you're moving down in their red zone, looking to score and go up maybe 10-0, 7, whatever, right? But the pick 6, I mean, that's a momentum shift of significance.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, their guy, their safety made a great play. And you can look and say, "Hey, it was a mistake. The throw was a mistake." And I'm sure Derek would say it is. And yet at the same time, that guy just made a great play. And sometimes it happens. But we have to be able to bounce back from those kinds of things. And look, I thought we did. We had a chance. We had a couple chances to. We climbed back in the game. We had a number of chances to score other touchdowns and take control of the game, and just couldn't finish off drives. And it wasn't any one thing. It's a drop ball, or it's a penalty. Those are the kinds of things that keep you from finishing off drives. And look, we've made a habit of that in this season, and if we're going to accomplish the things we want to accomplish, we've got to get over that. And look, we have a history of doing that. I mean, we've had 17 years, I think it is, a string of 17 years up through last year of being over 50% conversion rate in the TDs in the red zone. And so, we have a history of success there. And look, we're calling a lot of the same plays, and we're just not finishing that off. We need to do that.
And kind of the last question on Atlanta, which is just, I know it from Dennis Allen and his defensive background, the inability to kind of, or for other teams to run the ball on you, especially in the fourth quarter when they're going to run and they are able to kind of do so, just magnifies the frustration.
Yeah, look, defense gave up 17 points overall. I mean, that's a winning performance in terms of points. But is, given the kind of game it was, we needed to get a stop, particularly in the last 2 drives in the 4-minute offense, and it was disappointing not to do that.
It is a rarity, at least feels like it. It's a 3-game homestand. You had a 3-game road stand in 2020 and 3 games on the road back-to-back-to-back in 2018. Now, 2022 would have been 3 games at home, but the Minnesota game is in London, so I don't count that. So it's the first time since 2014 to have back-to-back-to-back at home, and it's one of the things I looked at on the schedule when it first came out. One was that you were on the road a ton early in the season, but these next 3 games at Caesars Superdome, almost irrespective of what you need to do, are just important, huge football games.
Yeah, they absolutely are, and look, we need to get on a string of wins. We need to stack some wins up, and we're going to need. It's good. First of all, it's good to be back in New Orleans playing a game. It'll certainly be good to be playing 3 in a row at home. And we need our fans to be loud and proud, and we've got to give them a reason to be cheering in the dome and make it loud and difficult on our opponents.
I know it's a tough week out there. I don't know, but you've got, is part of your job like the keep people focused on the task at hand, and I'm not saying keep people's chin up and but kind of focus on the future a little bit. I'm just trying to get a sense of
Yeah.
They're tough times, but it is what it is.
Well, I think it's in any industry, any business, part of leadership is, look, when things aren't going well, you can't just be negative. There's enough negative noise out there. We don't need to be negative. Not a lot of people get inspired by negativity. So part of our job is to focus on the positive, focus on what we're doing well, accentuate that, and not sweep the things that we aren't doing well under the rug, but attack them and improve in those areas. And I believe with all my heart we got the right people in the building. I know we do. There's too many other things that are good signs. I mean, we're 12th in the league on offense. We just had a game where we had 444 yards. We had 5 trips into the red zone. We're in the top 10 in our league in trips into the red zone. So it's hard to score if you're not getting into the scoring area. We're getting into the scoring area, and historically, we've done a good job in that area for lots of different reasons, lots of different variables. We're not doing that as well this year, and yet I think we can. I think defensively we've had a number of games that we played really, really well. We've had a few games that we haven't played as well, and yet one thing we have continued to do different than past years is we've taken the ball away. I think we're at, if I recall, we're at 14 interceptions. I mean, that's a fantastic number. We've got, we're +6 as I said in the takeaway turnover ratio. That there's a lot of winning football being played, and yet we're doing some things that keep us from winning.
Right.
And so we've got to focus on that and correct it.